What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow here, back with another video. Get those 10s and 20 views. This is a video I did not want to make. I don't want to make this video. I really don't. But I am highly disappointed in the Carolina fan base. The Panthers one. I could really care less about the Hurricanes. Because after starting 0-3, they have completely given up on this entire team. They want everybody fired. They want the owner to sell the team. They're calling Bryce Young a bust. They want every star player traded for more draft capitals. And I'm just sitting back going, we're 0-3. The first two games were lost because of, more or less, we had a rookie quarterback who just had a lot of growing pains. Hopefully they're just growing pains. We lost against the Seahawks with the offense looking better with a vet in there. And the Seahawks are a legit playoff caliber team. We can easily turn this around. But I do think there is someone to blame. One person. Just one. And his name is Scott Fitter. He has made moves that would normally set franchises back decades. I mean, like Cleveland Brown, New York Jets level of moves. He's been GM for 3 years, and in those 3 years, he has traded 10 draft picks for 4 quarterbacks. One of them was on the team, and we don't know how good he is. It's not a lie that I have put out videos, pre-draft videos, where I said we just see what falls to us at number 9. If we do go after quarterback, I was hoping it would be C.J. Stroud, the mayonnaise man, or Hayden Hooker. It's like I just, because after watching 10 years of Cam Newton football, who is 6'5", 245-ish, I'm not exactly sure, he did not survive. He had injuries. He got hurt often, especially towards the back half of the career. I don't think someone who's 5'10", 205, smaller than me, and weighed about the same as me as I did coming out of high school, is going to survive in the NFL. I will get to the Panthers quarterback situation in a little bit, but let's first get back on the topic and how bad of a GM he is. And I have brought receipts. That's right. I have receipts. Here they are. These are just the trades he made. Like I said. And it's like some of the people who end up getting picked because of those trades make me extra angry. Like, here's the Sam Darnold trade. A 6th, a 2nd, and a 4th for Sam Darnold, who played pretty decent. We honestly could have rode Sam Darnold out for the first 3 years going into this season. He did not look god-awful. He played what we thought Sam Darnold would be. So there's that trade. It's like some of these trades, like I'll get to the draft picks later. So that was the trade from that year that was just the god-awful trade as pop-ups start coming in on this website. It's like the Greg Little trade. Okay, Greg Little's, but only a 7th? Really? Only a 7th? And then the Dan Arnold trade, which eventually turned to a pick that came Sam Howell. Going into the next year's draft class and trades. A 4th that became Blaine Zappi, who has won more football games than some of the Panthers quarterback. A 3rd for a third round pick that became Matt Corral, who isn't on the team. Oh, we traded the 5th round pick, who became Sam Howell, for a bunch of nobodies. Oh, and here's the trade for Baker Mayfield, who lasted half a season. And, of course, the Christian McCaffrey trade, who the picks became. Let's see what the picks actually did. These are the players we got for CMC. He has played 3 games. And he's not even in Carolina. He has played 3 games. No longer in Carolina. It's like the picks aren't there. And this year he trades a haul for Bryce Young. If Bryce Young pans out, good. If Bryce Young doesn't pan out, there is going to be hell to pay. Now, when you look at even just the players he has drafted, J.C. Horn, great when he's on the field. The only problem is he's never on the field. Oh, look who's was picked. Micah Parsons. Imagine him with Brian Burns on this roster. Pro Bowler Rashard Raheem Slater. Can tell me we don't need an offense tackle. And Mac Jones. No. I'm kind of glad we didn't take Mac Jones. It's like, that was that year. Can you imagine this defense with Micah Parsons and Brian Burns and Frankie Louvu? And then the next year. Okay, Iggy was actually pretty good. No complaints there. But then we got Travis Marshall Jr. I think we got Travis Marshall Jr. Yeah, Matt Corral. You don't think we could have used anybody else? The end, wide receiver, anybody. But now back to what I hope. How do we fix this? Where do we go from here? Well, the first thing we do is we need to know, is Bryce Young good? That's simple. That's that. If he is good, then we go forward perfectly fine. Yeah. If he sucks, like, hey, he's being overwhelmed. The game's too far ahead of him. We royally screwed the pooch here. The only saving grace to this is A, you fire Scott Fitter. Is B, next year's quarterback class could go down as one of the greatest classes of all time. And the other thing is, I can't really think of that many bad teams that need a quarterback. Cardinals just signed Kyler Murray to a lot of money. So they're probably going to ride with him, even though everyone thinks they're tanking for Caleb Williams. The Bears have Justin Fields. Are they going to move on from him if the season doesn't work out? Who knows? The Vikings probably are drafting a quarterback. The teams that should draft a quarterback: Vikings, Jets, Cowboys, Falcons, maybe. But even with that, when we go back to my big list, Caleb Williams is obviously a first-round grade. He is like, they're thinking he's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. Drake May, he's the next Josh Allen, in my opinion. We don't know if Deion's kid's coming out. And honestly, I think Deion's kid could be a project quarterback if you can get him in the second or third round. He played Oregon and looked good, not great. But it's like Spencer Rattler. He looks pro-ready. McCaffrey. He might be pro-ready. Quinn Ayers. Probably has a good chance to win the Heisman this year. It's like LSU quarterback. The Picks. Tyler Van Drake. DeForest. I'm not sure about this kid. He hasn't had that much playing time. Riley Leonard has looked really good. Jefferson has looked really good. Bo Nix should be the third quarterback on the list. And he's the guy, he's the plug-and-play guy. And everyone's like, oh, he's so old. Okay, he's 23. We draft him at the oldest he'll be is 24. He plays for 12 years. He's only 36. I think most teams would have no issue with a 36-year-old quarterback after seeing what the Jets just gave up for Aaron Rodgers. Like, the list of quarterbacks that are coming out next year is unreal. So we need to figure out, is Bryce Young the guy? That's step one. Step two, pay Brian Burns. Brian Burns is easily the best player on our defense. He stays more or less healthy a lot of times. A lot of his stuff is like weird nagging injuries, like, oh, it's twisted ankle. Oh, he strained something. But he's not missing. He doesn't miss long stretches of time like J.C. Horn, who I am calling a bust, especially with Micah Parsons drafted a few picks behind him. The big issue that we had with the is simple: injuries. The bulk of our O-line is hurt. A good chunk of our defense is hurt. It is too early to completely give up on this season. The Saints did not look that good against the Packers. And we played them with Bryce Young still having rookie question marks. The Falcons are definitely not winning this quarterback. I have seen enough tape to know that Bryce Young is better than Desmond Riddle. Just throwing it out there. And as recording, I don't know what the Bucs are going to do with the Eagles. So this division is still wide open. We do have the Vikings, who they look bad, and they probably could be in the hunt for a new starting quarter, the number one pick next year. Which, if they do that, they are definitely trading Kurt by some point. So, pump the brakes on the doom and gloom. Come talk to me. Come back to this channel after week 8 when we play Houston. Because right now, CJ Stroud looks to be the best quarterback of the thing. And if we are 2-6, clean house, everybody but the coaching staff. I believe a good coach staff needs 3 years. Give him 3 draft classes to see what he brings to the table. But you need to fire the GM, put the assistant GM in. And don't trade Brian Burns. If anything, that's about it. Tell me, what do you think? Should the Panthers fire their GM or not fire their GM? I don't know. That's it. That's all I have. I will see you weird people later.